I'll create what two structures. I'll just click on execute. It is in display mode. I'll open it in change mode. New button. Click on this create the structure. I'll give the structure name as, you can give any name. I'll give it as Z Marayam. I'll provide the description. Marayam structure. Continue. So this is my structure. Then I'll click on what another structure. Choose this root structure. Click on create a structure. It is asking whether it is same level or lower level. Okay. So if you see the IDOCs which are generated earlier, if I go to W02, if you take any IDOC, so what is the root segment here? Even Maran. Under this, rest of the segments. So rest of the segments are child of what? Even Maran. So they are not at the same level. They are under what? Even Maran. So keeping this hierarchy in mind, I'll choose what? Lower level. Not same level. I'll choose what? Lower level. Continue. What is the structure name? You can give any name. I'll give the meaningful name. I'll give it as Z even MAKTM. I'll provide the structure. I'll provide the description. Even MAKTM structure. That's all. So I created what? Two blank structures. I created the two blank structures. So the summary of the second step is what? We have to create the number of structures corresponding to the number of segments. We are going to consider two segments data which are maintained in two different files. So since we have two files, I created what? Two structures. If I go to Lsmw is in BAP, I'll consider only one file. Okay, here I have considered two files. So here why I took two structures here, because I'm going to transfer the data into two segments. Okay, done. Save it, go back. Maintain source field. So in the previous step, just we have created the blank structure. Now I need to create the fields in those blank structures. That is a summary of the third step. Let me click on execute button. It is in display mode. I'll open in chain mode. So this structure should hold the fields related to the first segment even Marayamna. So instead of we creating the fields, I'll copy it from the standard one. How do you copy? Just choose somewhere here. We have the button what? Copy fields. I can create individual fields. Instead of that, anyhow, I am going to refer to the fields of the standard segment. So choose this, click on what? Copy fields. Done. Copy from what? Data repository. Copy from data repository. Continue. What is that structure? Standard segment structure. Even Marayan. If I give that, what happened? All the 121 fields are copied. All the 121 fields are copied. But my file is having the data only for the 7 fields. No? My file is having data only for the 7 fields. So unnecessary fields, let me delete. I can keep it as it is, but just to avoid confusion, I can delete it. What is the button here? Control F5. So what are the fields you don't require? You delete them. So I'm trying to delete by pressing Control F5. I require material type. I require industry sector. I require material group. I don't require this. Base unit here I require. I don't require this. Done, 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 done. I don't require this. Done, done, done. GWI I require because I consider data for that. Okay. Rest of the fields I can do. So I'm just pressing Control F5. It is going to delete all the unnecessary fields. It has copied all the 121 fields from the standard segment to our structure. So I'm pressing Control F5. It is removing the rest of the fields. Done. Okay, now in the second structure, I require four fields now. So here also, I'll copy from data repository. Which segment we are trying to refer? The second segment, E1 MAKTM. Anyway, it has got four fields. My file is also having data for all the four fields now. So I need not delete anything. That's all. So I created the fields for our structure. Let me save it. Go back. That is a summary of the third step. Maintain source relation, structure relations. So here what you have to do, we have to link our structure with the standard segment structure. Okay, we have to link our structure with the standard segment structure. From where I'll get the standard segment structure? In the first step, we mentioned the message type and we mentioned the IDOC type. Na? So we'll get the segments from the what IDOC types. I'll just click on execute. Done. Yeah, you can see now it is in display mode. I open change mode. You can see it is showing all the standard segments. What are our concerned segments? Even Marayam, even MAKT. So you need to link this standard segment with our first source structure. How do you link? Just choose this, click on what? Create relationship. Done. So you can see we have two structures. I need to link with what? Z even Marayam. Yes, it is linked. Then I'll choose even MAKTM. Even MAKTM, I'll click on what? Create relationship. Is it linked there? Yes, it is linked there also. It is linked there also. Understood? So we have linked we have established the relationship between the standard segments and to the corresponding structures. Just save it and go back. Done. Then maintain the field mapping and conversion rules. In the earlier step, we have mapped between standard segment structure with our source structure. Now here what we have to do, we have to map the fields of our structure fields with the fields of what standard segment structure. And after mapping, if you want to implement any rules, you can implement. So I'll click on execute button. Done. It is in display mode. I'll open in chain mode. So you can see here, this is even Marayam. These are the fields of what? Standard segment. So just any of the field names are same now because I copied the fields from the standard segment only. Instead of remapping it one by one, I can go for auto field mapping because the field names are what? Same. So I'll choose this first field. Somewhere here with the button extras auto field mapping. Okay, auto field mapping. I'll click on that. It is providing some auto field mapping settings here. I will not disturb that. Just continue. And you can see here, you can observe here what happened here. See, this is my target field, this is my source field. What is that? Z E1 MARIM MSGFN is linked with what? E1 MARIM FN MSGFN. 100% is a 100% is a proposal. Okay. So I'll just click on what? Accept proposal. Then accept mapping all the fields. Accept proposal, done, done. Then it is also taking the second segment and the second structure. Accept proposal, done, done, done. So all the fields are what? Mapped. Auto field mapping is completed. So you can see here MSG FN of even MARIM is linked with what? MSG FN of what? Our structure. What is the default rule here? Transfer. Means whatever the data is there in the file will be transferred as it is. Okay. I don't want to do that. I want to do some what? Conversions kind of thing. What I want is whatever the material I am transferring, that material, what is the material number 630 IDOC MAT 100 na? That material number I want to prefix with some code. So what I'll do, this is the material number field here. What is the default rule here? Also transfer. I want to change the rule. I don't want to transfer the data as it is from the file. So I'll just choose this MATNR somewhere here or button here. What is this? Insert rule. Insert rule. There are different types of rules. Okay, I'll go for what? Prefix. I'll go for the rule type as a prefix. Continue. With what value you want to prefix? I want to prefix with something gen. So material number will be prefixed with this code. What is that code? Gen. Actual material number is what? 630 IDOC MAT 100. 630 IDOC MAT 100. I am prefixing that with what? Some code what? Gen. That's all. Continue. So I can see it. 1 second, please. So, what is the rule type change here? Rule type is change to prefix. The code is automatically generated. Concatenate gen and so on, so on, so into that. That's all. Let me save it. So, mapping is done, and I implemented one rule. What is that rule? What is that rule type? Prefix. What is the next step here? Maintain fixed values, translations, user defined routines. Okay. So, 1 second. Just give me 2 minutes time. Just hold on, please.
This conference will now be recorded.
So done. So now where we are now. So in the previous step, what we have done, we have mapped the fields of standard segment with the fields of our structure, and we implemented one rule. What is that rule type? Prefix. What is that? Material number should be prefixed with what? Some value or gen. Then what is the next step here? Maintain fixed values, translation, user defined routines. So I have not defined any rule of type of fixed values, translation, and user defined routine. In the previous step, I have defined only one rule of type prefix. There only I am able to give the prefix value. So since I don't have any rules of this type, fixed values, translations, and user defined routines, I can ignore this particular step. I can ignore this particular step. So I'll just manually select what? Next step. Specify files. Where are the files available? On the desktop only now. So I'll just choose the execute button. It is in display mode. Legacy data on the PC, on the local system. I'll just choose this. Click on what? Add entry. What is the path? Browser. Press F4. One file is what? Mara.txt. So in my desktop only, I'm having a file what? Mara.txt. I'll choose Mara.txt. Done. Name. Okay, you can give some unique name. I'll give the name as something 630 Mara. Some name. Okay, some unique identification. Just give the path of the file. What is the separator in the file? Comma. Separator in the file is what? Comma. Okay, and I don't have any field names in the file. Directly I'm having the data. If the field names are there in the file, you have to select the checkbox what? Field names at start of file. But I don't have the field names, directly I'm having the data, so I should not select that. Just continue. So delimiter is what? Comma. Continue. I'm having one more file now, so I'll just choose this again. Click on what? Add entry. Let me browse it. What is the next file? MAKT. I'll choose mak.txt. Provide some unique name. I'll give it as something 630 mak. Field separator is comma. Continue. So two files information I specified it to what? Lsmw tool. Just save it and come back. What is the next step? Assign the files. We have uploaded two files. We need to upload those two files to our two structures. So just click on exhibit button. We have two structures here. It is in display mode. I'll open it in chain mode. These two structures, we have to assign it to the corresponding files. The data for this structure is coming from the first file. Na? So click on assignment. What is that? 630 Marana. This one. Na? I'll just choose this. Then I'll choose the second structure. Click on assignment. 630 MAKT. So I've assigned my structures to the corresponding files. Let me save it. Go back. Then I'll choose what? Read data. You have to read the data from the file. So it will read the data from that files and stores that data inside a file called as what? Lsmw.read. Okay. It will read the data from those files and stores the data in lsmw.read. So let me click on execute button. It is reading the data from these files. How many records you want to read? 1 to 100, 1 to 200. In your I'm having only one record, so I'm not giving filter conditions. Click on what? Execute. System is trying to access the files. Hello, hello, another file now. Hello. Okay, so you can see here files read is what? mak.txt and mara.txt. File written is what? lsmw.read. It has written the data to this particular file lsmw.read, which is a combination of project, subproject, and object followed by lsmw.read. Nothing to save here. Save button not there. Just go back. That's all. Then display the red data. Let me display, execute this. I want to display all the lines. Continue. Yeah, it has displayed the data. So if you see here, what is the material number here? 630 IDOC MAT 100. What is the material type? ROH, pharmaceutical. So 630, na, what is the code I have? Gen, na? It should prefix with gen. Means the rule is not yet executed. Rule is not yet executed. Just go back. Nothing to save here also. Convert to data. Now the rule will be executed, and after executing the rule, the converted data is stored in which file? lsmw.conv file. So let me click on execute button. Execute. I want all the records. Execute. Yeah, file read is lsmw.read. File written is what? lsmw.conv. Converted data is stored in this particular file. So nothing to save. Just go back. Go back. Done. Display the converted data. Yes, let me display. Execute this. Now let me check the material number. When I continue, yeah, when I choose this, see the material number. It is prefixed with gen. Before conversion, there was no gen. Now after conversion, I got what? Gen. It means the rule is successfully executed. Nothing to save here. Just go back. Start the IDOC generation. So where is the data stored now? lsmw.conv. It will pick up the data from this file and generate the appropriate number of IDOCs. So only one record is there, only one IDOC would be generated. Execute this. Okay, it is picking the data from which file? .conv file. File with converted data. Execute that. It would generate the IDOC. File transferred for IDOC generation. Continue. So it might have generated. Start IDOC processing. So it has generated now. Now we should try to post it. We should try to post it. So execute this. Okay, today's date only. Execute. Yeah, you can see one IDOC is generated. What is the IDOC number? 3222766. 3222766. IDOC is still being processed, so it may take some time. It is in yellow color. Earlier you are seeing green color and red color. Now it is still being processed, so it may take time. No problem. Just go back. Then create the IDOC overview. So it will display the generated IDOC. When you click on execute, yes, now I think it is processed. It is in what? Green color. Okay, how many segments here? Even MARAM and even NAKTM. These two segments are in. If I click on this, yes, Gen 630 IDOC MAT 100 ROH so and so done. And this is your another segment. So the data is successfully posted because I got green color. Then what is the next step? This is the option. Start IDOC follow up. I don't have any errors now. So even if I click on execute button, yeah, try posting again. So if there are any errors, I need to analyze that errors, and we are posting it, we are reprocessing it by using what? BD87 or W19. So here, if there are any errors, I can click on execute, I can try to post it. But before that, we have to analyze the error, and if any setting is missing, if any configuration is missing, we need to configure that particular setting. Last class we have seen. We have the error IDOC where what was error? One error was I forgot that. Yeah, one error was we are trying to filter the mandatory segment. It is not allowing me to filter because it is mandatory. So we have removed that setting. Then another error was industry sector was missing. That's why it is unable to post. So we have created the industry sector and we posted it by using BD87 or what W19. We understood the difference. So here also same thing. After doing that configuration, you can click on Start IDOC Follow-up. How many steps are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 steps are there here. 16 steps are there in Lsmw using what? IDOC. So the agenda is it will pick the data from the file, generates the IDOC and distribute that IDOC to what? SAP system. That's it. So we should know what we are doing in each step. Any questions, please ask me. So as a practice, what you can do is you can take multiple records. I'll do it in LSM using BAPI. The process remains same, no change. But we need to consider the segments. We should know which is mandatory segment. So that I'm we're going to what? W30. We are double clicking on each segment and checking whether checkbox is selected or not. Yes, we can change the path. If you have the permission to that particular path, we can change the path, Vamshi, no problem. But if you have the permission, it will accept. Otherwise, if you have the permission, yes, I can give any path. If you want to store that files in your own path, you can give that path. No problem. We can change. Yes, sender should be a compulsory or text file only. Compulsory, mandatory. Yes, we can use single file. As I told you earlier, instead of giving two files, both the segment data, I can maintain only in what? One file. That's what I said. And anyhow, that part I'll discuss when I go to what? LSM I'm using a BAPI, where I'll take only what? One file. That file only will contain the data related to what? Multiple segments. So very much possible. Done? Okay. So I've shared all the recordings. I'll try to share this recording also today. And notes also I have not shared for the last couple of sessions, I think, or only one session, I believe. I don't know. Let me cross check. I'll share it today. Recordings I've shared everything. Only the material only spending one or two classes. Done. So I'll wind up now. Tomorrow, most probably, we'll see IDOC extension. How to extend the IDOCs. I mean to say IDOC enhancements. Done then. I'll wind up. We'll continue tomorrow.